Devin Moore.
Yeah.
I do like him, Brian.
I do too.
I do like his height, his length, and he seems to have a nose for the ball, Brian. Kind of gambles a little bit, but go ahead, tell us about him, Brian. Devin
Moore.
Let
me get to Devin Moore here.
There's a lot of good corners in his.
Yeah, there are a lot of good corners. I know there were some people kind of reaching out to me about, hey, you need to see this. You need to see this kid from Florida. He's 6'2", he's 198. Is what he's listed at. He plays both sides of the field, but mainly will line up in the boundary as when you watch him play. He's got athletic ability for his size. I think he's a very fluid in the hips with his movement. I mean, I've seen him pedal and then turn very easily. It doesn't take much for him to get out of his pedal and then turn. There's times where you see him playing zone coverage where he's up, he turns, he bails, and he goes. He could play sideways very well. And I mean sideways, running sideways to kind of take some routes. You see him fall off in coverage to help teammates. He's got a feel for how to play around the receiver. On the goal line, he played a slant this way. I was watching the LSU game, the Texas game, the Georgia's game. And he has the ability to kind of play around because of that length. I think that you can... He has some versatility. You line him up in the slot. I saw him carry some tight ends in some routes. I felt like he was a smooth mover. Really good back pedal for position. Comfortable player when it comes to playing man or zone. Like I say, he can line up tight. He could jam. In off coverage, he could pedal. He could drive on the ball. He can make up ground when necessary. I like the physical presence he has at the point of attack when that ball's in the air. He's been injured a lot in his career. This is the thing that people are going to have to check with him. He's had a shoulder problem in 22. He had a shoulder problem in 24. He's had a back problem, and he's had concussion problems in 23. So he actually started all the games this year, so that was a first for him. But, man, this is a big-time player with his length and I think his football IQ. I have him in the third round on my board. I have him on the top of the board. Matter of fact, I'm going to kill a lot of people here. I like him better than Chris Johnson. I have him better than Neal, and I have him better than Everett.
Okay, that makes sense. Let me see. Let me touch on some things that I didn't hear you say. You know what's strange, Brian? I think he has the potential to be better in man, but I think he's much better at zone.
Sure.
I think he's better when he kind of gets to float around and go run to the football.
Yeah.
He's really good at that. You know what I think about these long corners, Brian? I just want to make them cover three guys. You know, so I want to make them, turn their backs to the sideline and just run. But that's what he's good at.
Yeah.
Super aggressive when the ball's in the air, Brian. I love that a bunch. Great ball skills. He'll look over his shoulder and find the ball. He has a really good feel for timing the wide receiver's hands and all this kind of stuff, Brian. I think this is why I think he'll be better at man one day. So he has a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
I love him at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
With them long arms.
Yeah.
He's really physical at the line of scrimmage. And to be 6'2", he turns really well.
He does turn. That's sometimes when you're a tall guy, you get leggy.
Yeah.
And it's hard for you. We've seen it before. The Cowboys have drafted tall corners and they haven't been able to turn and adjust. I think we got some in this draft that can do that.
Yeah.
That's what I've been encouraged by.
Sometimes he will get grabby though.
He will.
But that's coaching, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, what is coaching for? As far as the run game, I mean, he'll come up and dive at somebody's legs or something. You know what I'm saying? He'll come up and do that. But good speed, good hips to be lanky, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, cool. And just what you said, Brian. I got a 3 on him. This is where I'm at with it, right? Over time, I've eventually put some of my shorter, can't turn as well dudes in the third round. I just kind of bunt those guys down.
So you got Neal and Everett down there with him? Is that?
I got him higher than Rivers, Pond, Neal, and Everett.
Okay, so you got him. So you got the shorter corners. See, I kept the shorter corners at the bottom of the second round. Rivers and Ponds. If you gave me a choice, I'd take Rivers over Ponds of the shorter guys.
Yeah.
And then in the third round, then I kind of took the guys that maybe the Neal and the Everett. But listen, I'm going to die on the Chris Johnson hill. I'm going to die on that hill. I know there's a lot of people that have him as possibly a late second round guy. Until Chris Johnson shows me what he's going to run, then I'm going to. And I went with it last year. But what happened? Where did Will Johnson get picked from
68 or something. 60
second round,
Second
right?
round, yeah.
We initially we talked about him as a guy that was going to be taken in the top 5, right? Oh, Cowboys are going to take. Guy played well, but what did the league start to do? They didn't know what he ran. But, you know, and we'll see. Maybe he's the test case going forward that all of a sudden now it's like, well, if these guys don't run, but if the tape says this, you just go ahead and take him. Until Chris Johnson shows me he's going to run. I think Chris Johnson will run. I don't know if he'll be at Indy this week, but I have a feeling, though, I'm going to get a time on him. The tape is good, but I like Moore's tape a little better. And you mentioned about being grabby and clutchy. He could be a little of that as well.